And there we go. We are live for the entire world. And yeah, here we are trading Nasdaq 100, the famous US stack. Okay, so this is a real account. We're gonna take trades here. Um, yeah, let's see what's gonna happen today. I'm really thinking we're gonna have a bounce from the lows of this week. Actually, the lows of this week were below this, much below. Let's say how many points from where we are now. Yeah, 173 points. So I believe we can kind of bounce from this area here. Okay. But we can even bounce from this line. I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah. It can happen. Just adjusting here the charts for my trading. I like to have the exact notion of what's going on, and it's the best way to do it. Yesterday, we had a lot of volume. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We had a lot of volume yesterday. Like a lot more than on Wednesday and Tuesday, and even Monday. It was the biggest volume of the week. Oh no, yeah, it's yeah, week, that's for sure. But on Monday too, and yeah, yesterday volumes were very low, and we might have a very, let's say, intense session this Friday. Yeah, that happened last week too. We didn't have a lot of volume on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we had on Friday. So we might have some more volume coming today. That means more volatility right off the start of the session, which is my goal here. I just trade very, very, very um how can I say, very precise trades with the stop loss very tight, and it's win or woe here. Okay, we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to come to the market, make some money, and get out. If it doesn't work, we just call it a day and wait for next week. This week we are not having especially good week, to be fairly honest. Let's see how was our PNL this week. Not very good actually. But this was a bad week for us. And being a bad week for us, we are still like what? Points wise, we are only say what, 58 there. Yeah, we are. We are 15 points. Look, it's nothing. It's 15 points in the red. We are this week, and this week was a tragedy. So we might be in the right direction here, um, towards profitability. This month has been a beast. I can say we made like we are net 270 points in the month. Whereas we had what? How many sessions? We had 14 sessions, so 270 points. It's like no, we had 13 sessions. Yeah, we're gonna go to for a 14th. So we've been doing good. Yeah, like 20 points per session. It's not bad. It's not a bad deal. Not bad at all, friends. So let's see what the session reserves to us. I can say that last time I came live, I made a good profit, and that's why I Fridays are more free. So I will try to come live every Friday. So just so I also see my process here, if it's working as I expect it to do. So I'm doing this mostly for myself, to be fairly honest with you guys. But yeah, if you come in and want to ask something, I'm here to answer your questions. Unless I'm really busy here looking into the charts, that's something we gotta do. It's pay very, very, very a lot of attention to the chart. If you're trading, that's the only thing we have to do. If we are trading, that's something that I learned the hard way as well. So if you are scalping, just scalping the market, you cannot take the eyes off of the screen. There's not a lot of time. It's just not that I'm spending like hours and hours and hours just staring at the charts. Not at all. What I'm doing here is I'm GMT, I'm coming 2 p.m. to the charts. The market's gonna opens at 2:30. I didn't see anything. I didn't plan anything. I just take a look at the charts, see if there are any news, any catalyst that came up that can kind of move the market in a direction or another. And that's only because if it's a very big catalyst, I would be avoiding to take the trades in the opposite direction of the trend. But I kind of, the way I play, there's no prohibited trade. I can go either long or short, it doesn't matter. The only thing is like if it's a big catalyst, it's better not to go against it. Sometimes, and in some scenarios, I would say. And today we had a very, very, very important data point here, core PPI, and we can see the movement in the chart here for this data set. It was exactly here. We can see there was more volume at this point. Yeah, we reached the volumes of session volumes here above 1,000 or almost 2,000 contracts in the NQ, which is remarkable for a pre-session. You don't have this kind of, even with news, most of times you go to 1,900 contracts, so it's a lot of volume. I believe we might have a very, very busy session, very a lot of volatility here, and we also have at a lot of news happening. So we have Chicago PMI, which usually moves the market at 245. We have to be attention to this. I'm gonna even put a note here. exactly at this time because I tend to forget when these things are about to happen. And we also have, yeah, we have construction spending at three. It's not the biggest of the deals, and I'm planning to be done by there. But 2:45 maybe. I plan to be done by there too, but if I'm not, it's good to know that something can happen there, especially because since I work with very tight stop losses, when we have our stop losses set before a very uh, how can I say volatile data point, it can just go through your stop loss and get you burned more than you expected. So I tend to not um, I tend to not trade or keep trades open during these very important data sets. Um, yeah, so that's it. Um, let's see. The PPI, which is the price index, it came, whoa, it came very strong. Look, it came like zero point 0.5, whereas the forecast was zero point 0.3. And Jesus, it's a lot. The core PPI came very, very strong. So prices are, that means that prices are not very controlled, I would say, which means the Fed could well um, keep interest rates on hold, or even worse, it could uh, increase the rates, which I think at the moment is a bit far fetched, especially because uh, we have these layoffs that are being put in place by big players such as Today Block, just fired or announced it's gonna be laying off 4,000 people. Is almost half of its workforce, so it's a lot of people, and uh, it's a lot of people, and other companies can follow suit. We have to see what is really going to happen. But the AI narrative in this case is playing an important role because the CEO is the company actually, but the CEO, because he was yesterday in a call with investors after earnings, so it's an earnings call. He said that the main reason they're doing that it's because AI is making the employees more productive and they don't need as many people, even if they are a growth company. So it's the first time I hear someone says that they don't need people to grow their business. It's a one-off, and their stocks are skyrocketing now. At a point, they were 20% up in the pre-session. I think it's 16. But yeah, I believe they will get around these. Whoa, this is it's an interesting movement that's happening now. So 19 points with kind of interesting volume there. And we are still 2 minutes to go. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a busy session, guys. That's for sure. I can tell you. And yeah, let's see. It's weird how the things happen here. But anyway, uh, yeah. Let's hope for the best and play the strategy. We have 1 minute and a half to go. The price is moving to the low of the session. One thing that I always like to look at is what the Europeans did. The Europeans made a high. So usually when the Europeans make a high, the market falls off. It's possible it's gonna fall. Yesterday, that's what happened. And now we have here 1 minute to go and a big volume for, well, 1.65 is a lot of volume. We don't see that every day. Let's see this candle, the last candle of the pre-session. It's coming with volume. Not as much. Not as much. But I think the first movement will be down. This is what I think. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. That's what I think it's going to happen. We're having this 754 here as the support that was tested. I believe the price is going to come here back to this area to maybe go up. That's my first expectation, but it's just a guess, okay? Whoa. It's just going up. Okay. It didn't go back. The volume was good on that one too. So 767. Okay. 825. It's 113. And 7. And 7, 8. 7, 8. 7, 8. 8, 7. Okay. I bought. Not in a good place, to be honest. Whoa. Whoa. I lost this one. It's fine. I don't know what happened here. It wasn't good, but it's fine. Let's see. 78. Whoa. This is what? 64, 74. It's very complicated here. 74. 812, 74. Okay, I'm short here. Let's see what's gonna happen. 8. Okay, I'm gonna lose this one too. Okay, I lost. Okay, two in a row. Not a good way to start off the day. Try to see what happens here now. Okay, 860, 850. Okay. Okay, last chance of this setup here. 834. Okay, 860. 851. Okay, I lost. Not done, didn't lose yet. My entry is 850. So I have to put a take profit here. But since I'm gonna put the stop at 0. Okay. I don't think it's gonna go. I'm gonna close this trade. At least we made something here to compensate the losses. Okay, we are breaking even now, which is kind of good. So we're back to the game. At first, I thought we had completely lost sight of the game, but there we go. We're back. We're back to it. And let's wait. I'm gonna um, put a Fibonacci here just to know in case it comes back. But there it goes. Now it's going down, buddy. Without us, but not a problem. We wanted to be back to the game, so we're back to it. Let's wait for a good chance now. More clear. The first setup I like to play is this entry setup, opening setup, and kind of made a good. It took like 25 points here. It wasn't a bad deal. But now it's deciding what it's gonna do yet. So yeah, no, I'm not seeing this happening. Yeah, look, I would have lost this. You see how it's coming back? But it didn't touch my entry yet. Yeah, it didn't touch the entry yet. So now it's going down. Maybe it just went back to liquidate some positions. Now, what you're seeing here, it's kind of interesting movement. Let's see how it's going to behave here. Okay, I don't like the way it is. Although it's kind of juicy, to be honest. 799. Oh, I should have entered. Now I cannot enter again. Okay, I lost the chance. It was exactly the Fibonacci, but because it wasn't as beautiful as I wanted it to be, I didn't get in. Oh my god, I would have made the day now with 33 points. I would be good. But now, for real, there's nothing here for us at the moment. So the two setups we could play for this entry, for this opening, they didn't play out exactly as expected. We came on unscattered. We had some sort, we ran in some sort of problem here when we entered this first trade. I didn't exactly understand what happened. Some failure here of the whole thing, because we were from 780, which was, oh, it was not a good entry actually. 780. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We would you would have lost anyway, but the direction was correct, and we, yeah, the problem was we could even have entered here again. Yeah, but anyway, now we are in the top of the range, of the opening range, but this is not interesting for me to short. I don't short these when they are like this. I don't like to short. It might look contra-central, but I don't like to short when it's below the view up. And it's kind of playing out because it's playing the ping pong game yet. Usually I think the ping pong game, which we call the ping pong game, is like this thing that goes like how you see it starts here and comes back and forth, back and forth. It lasts for maybe 5 6 minutes. In this case here, it looks like it's playing it for longer than it usually does. Okay, so yeah, very interesting. The only actually I had to have gotten from here because this was the perfect Fibonacci point, and we had some sort of volume here. The only thing that prevented me to enter the first place was the the format of this candle here. I didn't like it, and I didn't like it that it touched the top, almost the top of the range here, and came back down. But now I'm not playing this again because uh just because if this kind of trade is to work, it's gonna work, and from here, and it's gonna go uh up higher. So now I'm eyeing the regions I have an eye on are uh are below 753 here. I'm not getting above this, although I could short this. Okay, I could short this if uh, some conditions are met when we have the price here. But wow, the market is very, very strong. Not as strong as I thought it would. It started with a 5,000 contracts candle in the NQ, which is not a lot for NQ standards. Uh, if this was happening uh, the first time around, maybe I would think about coming in, but since it's not, yeah, you see this kind of trade here, it it's it hardly works. It hardly works when we have this below the view up and you have this power. You have the top of the range being touched. It usually doesn't work, but this time around it worked. So it's going down. Let's see, it's approaching the 755 area, which I'm watching very, very carefully here. And as I said at the beginning, uh, we have Europe making a high. Usually we have the market down. Okay, now we are below, and I'm gonna wait for this candle to close to see if we can get in. Let's see. 740. I have to keep an eye at 750. Let's see. Oh, it's a pity if it doesn't come back down. Yeah, it's trying to push higher, and I don't like this. I'm not gonna try to enter here because it's just a minute away from news, and it reached its first potential, which is this first candle here. So since it reached this first potential, it doesn't make sense for me to get in. But you see, the price didn't budge from here because my strategy relies on this. Like we see the close, it confirmed, and then the next one has to come back down a little bit so we can enter from here. But it didn't come back, so we couldn't get in. Now I need to wait for it to make a low again here so we can enter. And we got the news. What's about it? I don't know. Let's wait to see. It's open here, the news thing, to see what happened. It's not a very popular data set, but these bots, they like use the info that is available, like investing.com or other calendar aggregators, and they see if it's 3 stars, we have to move. Let's grab the liquidity and go for it. And yeah, let's see what happened here. So we had Chicago PMI, which came positive, which means, like, at least from a perspective of project managers, so people in the companies that buy things, let's say, these people are optimistic with the economy. So maybe that's it. And when that happens, we can have a good move in the market. But these days, we just don't know what's going to happen, because sometimes good news is bad news, and bad news is good news. In this case, good news is being good news anyway. So we are breaking up. You see, this was a very good entry. Unfortunately, we couldn't get in. Didn't give us the opportunity. But I'm not shorting from there. As I said, I'm not shorting from there, especially because I play the opening. I play only the opening. And when you play the opening, you cannot, if you have like a movement with volume like this towards the top, okay, you should not. I'm being I'm being proved wrong time and again now. It's going down now. But when this happens, without some consolidation here in the top, it keeps moving up, and that's why I didn't get in. But let's see, if it comes back down, I'm certainly getting in. I'm just not getting in in the middle of the range. It doesn't make sense for me to get into it in the middle of the range. And why didn't I short? Because these movement here we saw here, this big, it's not so big, but it's a good movement to see. Boom, very very vertical. This movement, it happened with a lot of volume. This chart doesn't have volume because I see markets volume doesn't mean anything. But the other chart I have here is NQ chart, and it shows the volume, and we can see that when we got here was the apex of this downwards movement. So that's it. Now we have some sort of consolidation here, although I have to say, guys, although this is not a consolidation I like to see, because you see, it's, yeah, it has to come back first to become a consolidation. It has to close below here, but it cannot be considered consolidation because look at the size of the candle. It doesn't make sense to consider it consolidation. So, wow, at least now I was right. It didn't go down again. um, but anyway, we kind of have a harsh session here. But as I said, like a harsh session is breaking even, so it's not a big deal. Um, we might have to call this a week with 15 points in loss, which is not a disaster by any means, but it's not a victory too. So, um, but any day that you don't blow your account is a victory, right? Any day you avoid blowing up your account is a victory in itself. So let's see. Let's wait to see what's gonna happen. Um, I am not treating this the way it is showing up, just because it's not uh, healthy from my point of view. It can become healthy, like if we have a consolidation at this area there where we are seeing 882 around this area. If we consolidate there and have a break to the upside, maybe that's the time to enter short, even if the day is gonna be a green day. It's not like unheard of. This kind of thing, like it goes down, it's go back down to liquidate some of the longs. That is the normal thing. Like usually here would be worth to put a fib here just in case. I don't like that much because the length of the break is not so big, you see. It's not that we went like at 40 points higher. Like here, for example, here we had a clear break, and more than that, that's up to 25. But the thing here is that it was the opening, right? When it's the open, you always get more, even though some can say that. But the levels uh, they work better, like when we have a lot of volume playing out. I don't know why. That's not my task here to answer why that happens. But from observation, um, most of the trades that the Fibonacci setup works out are at the opening. Um, so when it's the second time, I tend to get a little bit um, like skeptical about these setups, especially when, like here, we had an instant um, descendant movement. But here we are having a more nuanced thing. So this is not the kind of movement I like to see going towards a fib. But I would change ideas if there's volume there. If there is a lot of volume, like much more than we're having now, the candles are closing around 225 now, which is not bad volume, but we're just what, 22 minutes off of the opening, so it's not a lot of time yet. Um, I would like to see something around the 3.5 or high twos at this region here where the fib is. I'm not using this chart to put the Fibonacci just because it gets messier with the Fibonacci there. So I put in another chart, but I can follow the movement is the same. Uh, yeah, we are not seeing that volume going towards the fib. What I like to see now to go short, if we are to go down today, which wouldn't be a very far-fetched narrative, it would be if we have this here like this, although this is a bit too big to call it a consolidation. 63 points. No, I'm not calling this on yet. No, 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 not now. Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching. Let's keep uh trying to figure like an entry here. But from our strategy point of view, there's no way we are getting into this now. Very choppy. I don't like choppiness. I like quick trades. Come, enter and go, enter and go. Preferably only once. It keeps emotion uh, in check. Okay. The less trades you take, the less stress you have. That's my currently mantra. And look, we are touching the Fibonacci there. I'm not getting in this trade. I'm not getting in this. I'm not getting in this. Even if it goes there in the fib, if it makes a perfect week, only if we have volume. And the volume, it ticked up a little bit in the last candle, but not as much as I would expect it to make it a good entry for me. Okay, so I'm not getting into it. It's going like this. The fib is right here, the golden pocket, like 820. But I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. It's not there anymore. It's yeah, and the volume is not there. See, the candle is almost closing, and we don't have the volume I would expect to be able to enter here, even though we have a week there. But yeah, no, no, thank you. I would enter if we get very, very close to this point here, 813. Yeah, if it's to risk 5 points, I'm gonna do it. But no, not anymore. Even if we wanted it, yeah. To get into this, we would have to have entered at this candle here, but we didn't want to because the volume was not good enough. Yeah, okay, we are leaving some trades on the table today, which is not, to be honest, is not a big deal. You see that this is not the best of the trades since it's retracing back. So maybe it wasn't for us in the end. Yeah, like I said, look, it's not good. It's not looking good at all. When it's not looking good, it's not looking good, folks. So let's wait a little bit more to see if something plays out and we can get into and make the best of it. But at the moment, we are no. Yeah. From there, it could do two things. Either it could keep going up and retest the top of the range there, or it could collapse and try to retest those areas below the low of the session, where I would be willing to get long. Otherwise, I'm just thinking about shorts. And we have this um, consolidation now, which, like I said, you see, when you have no volume in a test, it's not very good to go. Like you could make this trade and it can work, but you see how choppy it is. It goes up and back, goes up and back down. Goes. It's not the trade that I'm willing to take. It's not the trade that I'm willing to take at all. So it's kind of working there. Now it's gonna push over the the first week, the week after the test, and it's pushing over. Yeah, not a lot of volume there. So you see, it's pushing over, but it's retracing back. Yeah, it's not the kind of trade that we want to take. See, imagine you are in a situation like that. It's not comfortable. I didn't like the one we were like the trade that we remade our losses. Imagine this one, no chance. And my rule is if we had achieved the what I call the obvious potential, I always set stop loss at zero. In this case, we would have lost it. Because if I had entered, it would have been from here, around here. Let's see, 811. Yeah, it would have to be at least here, 821. We would have lost. Okay, even though it now shows some strength, and it pick it up in volume a little bit here, and yeah, we have to have 20 seconds. I think this is a good candle. This is a volume wise, it has a lot of volume. uh I'm not just sure if there is strength. We have to see if it's gonna close. No, but yeah, it didn't retrace like 50%, so we can still keep ranging higher there. But it will all come down to what happens here. Depending on what happens here, I'm gonna short this. But if it's just a straight movement, I'm not taking the straight short. Just because the 1 hour doesn't look bearish. For some it could look bearish, but not for me, the way I play, because you see, it's not the way, it's not the time to do it. because we have like two very bullish candles. The candle, the 9 a.m. candle and the 8 a.m. candle are very bullish. They tested the bottoms, so they will try to search for the best price above the view up until it collapses. And I really think like that's my thought, that I think the market's gonna go down today again. Maybe it will stabilize in the lows of Monday, which is around 250 points from there. It might be the case, but it can also keep roaming around uh, the levels it is now, or a bit higher. So unless we have a clear short signal that I follow in my strategy, I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this. And today, to be honest, uh, the things that I used to avoid, they are kind of working for short term uh, trades. For example, you could have taken this trade entering the previous candle, the one that touched the top, and you just entered when it started to retrace. It's a very good setup, to be honest, but I'm avoiding these trades just because they have statistically a worse edge than playing from the same thing, but playing from the from the supports or the resistances, or after a consolidation. That's something that is also very interesting. Like when we have the consolidation and a break to the upside, it usually is a fake out. And we have to take these opportunities to jump uh, in the opposite direction of the break. Let's see how it's going now. I kind of like this as a consolidation here. Uh, like it's not the best consolidation, to be honest, because it's still like 57 points. Usually I don't like to play with consolidation like that. But if you take into consideration only the bodies, is like 14, you see. The rest is just choppiness and a volatility. So if you are able to break, if the price is able to break, and be sure the view up is here, but in the NQ, which is the real view up, we are just at the view up now. And so the battle for the view up is happening before our eyes now. And my take here is, if we're able to break this clean to the upside, okay, I'm probably entering short here. But it has to be a clean break, very, very clean, and hopefully with volume. Okay, it doesn't seem to be now. Let's see, but I'm not discarding anything. So it's 921. Yeah, it will hardly give me the clean break I'm looking for. No, no. It's still below it's still below the choppiness. You see, it's closed at below the choppiness. So it just added another layer to the choppiness, which is kind of not bad, to be honest. And yeah, let's see how this plays out. But this is the play, guys. This is the play. This is the play. Wait for a clean break of the choppiness here, and try to get short into it. Let's see how it's gonna play. And this is not a clean break. And we don't have volume too. We kind of have had some volume in this previous candle here with 2000. Okay, 4 seconds is not a clean break, right? Is it a clean break? It's not. It's not. It didn't go over the chopness yet. To the new layer of chopness, though, but it didn't go. So we have to wait for it to break above the chopness with very, 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 very clear way. And it can happen here, or it can happen further above. Like we might have, we might keep having these choppy breaks, I would call it, um, until we have a clean one. Um, and these choppy breaks, they actually go adding layers to the choppiness, as I mentioned before, and then they become um, they become interesting. Okay, now I kind of have something here, to be honest. Yeah, it's a good break. Mm, is it? Not very convinced yet. I'm trying to short this just because we are very close here. Have 7 points. Let's see. 930. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this just to put like in. Now we are in a better position to trade. So we are in profit now. But this wasn't a good entry, to be honest. I did it just because we were so close to the top here that I decided to enter. But it's not a big deal. You see that the price is like coming back up. This is not a clean break that I was mentioning. This is not the kind of thing that I like to do. Uh, yeah, this actually here would have been if we had a consolidation here, but there wasn't a consolidation. You see, there was only one candle, so we cannot call it a consolidation. Then it broke and it came back down. It was a good trade to the downside, but you see choppy. I don't like this. And now we are having a consolidation here, which is kind of a very good thing because it can become the place to enter the trade. Okay. Um, yeah, and we are in profit now. I'm kind of not a lot of profits. It didn't make even 10 points. We did the 7, 8. But yeah, still we are we are in a better position than we were before. Um, and the thing is that like when you that's how I trade these things. That's why I like a clean break because in the minimum like you get at least what I call the potential, the obvious potential, which for this short here, the obvious potential that I call is like this point here. So the end of the candle. Okay. And it came here. So once it was here, I I I had to put a stop loss at entry because the the chances of it reverting are very high. And that's what happened now. So let's see. We have 13 is not a lot. Now we have 17. Yeah, maybe we can try to play this one out. 5-0. Okay, I shouldn't have done this, but I'm gonna close it. It's not a good trade. I shouldn't have taken it. Have to go to 4-0, okay, guys? 4-0, then we try to enter. Okay, not 4-0 yet. Okay, now we're 4-0. If we can enter above 4-0, it's going to be interesting. No, no, no. Yeah, we we kind of made a good entry here, but since it wasn't following the strategy, it didn't feel comfortable there. That's why I closed. We entered at 5-0. Wow, it was a very good entry. 5-0 means like this. Yeah, I could have lost 1 point. But okay, it's okay. There wasn't the trade. There wasn't the trade. You cannot break the rules all the time. Yeah, but it was a clean break here. 20 points, and we didn't only have the chance to enter. That's the second stage of the thing didn't work out, and that's the problem. That's a problem. Oh my goodness, look at this. We were from 950. Wow, lost 30 points straight, but it's okay. It's okay. Wow. Wow. That was a blast. But you see, now I would like to see some sort of activity happening from the view up uh, in the NQ, not here, but around what? Around this area here. Okay, it wouldn't be bad an entry from here long. Okay, because the way things are playing out, it looks like we are going to have at least a day above the view up. If not a very bullish day, might be something above the view up. And yeah, actually, this played out very well. This view up play, view up now. This Fibonacci play there, it played very well. I just didn't got in because of the volumes. They were not very high and yeah, choppy. I didn't want to get involved. Fair enough. Now it's making its thing. We are halfway through, no, not yet, a quarter of this candle. And I just gonna play until 11 a.m. US time, okay? I never go beyond this. 1 hour and a half. In front of the chart is the maximum. That or at least 20 points in profit. And now I'm not. Either way, so I have to keep myself here for a while yet. But I kind of am now 12, no, 6 or 7 points in the red for the week. It's like nothing. It's nothing. Could call it a day, but I'll stick to it. I'll stick to it until 11 US time. Let's see. Let's see what's gonna play out there. Yeah, we have a lot of volume here in this area. Yeah, if it tests it, it can be a good entry. It can really be a good entry. Okay. Yeah, we can kind of call it a consolidation movement, but we don't have the. Yeah, let's see. It's 15, 20. Let's try to see here. 879, 889. Okay. Now let's try to get something below 889. Oh, it's a pity. I lost another entry there. Legit, I couldn't enter. Oh my goodness, exactly the point I told you guys. Okay. Oh, it's the fourth or fifth entry that I don't get into because it didn't play out like I like. But now I cannot get into it. Because it realized the potential already. I cannot go in. It's fine. It's okay. Let's watch more. Let's watch more. Wow. Look at what it's doing, guys. Just 50 points. 50 points or more. How many? 46. Yeah. Fine. Now I don't enter anymore. I don't go anymore. I could go depending on how it tests this. This one can be a good place to enter, depending on how it tests. We didn't see any of the tests I kind of like more. I like these kind of things here that happen here. Like you see some sort of consolidation, then a break, and then you enter long. That's how I like to play these things. And yeah, I might have. The problem is that I like to go like 890 first, and then it comes back. Then you can enter from here. But this time around, it came back down. But when it get to 890, it just kept going up and it didn't come back. So I couldn't enter. That happened here. That happened here too. That's how I kind of enter my trades. It's been working. I'm not gonna change because of 2 times that it didn't work. That it could have worked the other way around. Um, Actually, when I entered here, that's the reason why I closed it. It's discipline. I because if I start to enter these trades like that, I may start doing this every day. And if I'm doing this, it's because I tested and retested and got burned so many times that every rule has an exception that explains it. No rule is a rule without an exception. Okay, that's the exception. Yeah, this time around, I like the plays that are more. Yeah, I'm not expecting here at this point of the session the edges of the ranges being tested, but I need to see the price action I like in order to enter a trade. And I'm not seeing it now. For example, it would be good. One thing that I could give a chance is if we break very strongly from this here up to this in a big candle, and then we enter short from here, and then we come back at least to 917. It would be like a 30-point trade, which is some which what I'm looking for today. Like a 20-30 point trade would make my day. I would more than break even in the week. I would even be in a bit of profit if I get there. But let's see. It's trying to break now. Let's see if it's going to break there and where it's going to stop. Yeah. I'm liking it. I'm kind of liking it now. Yeah, we have 853, which is good. 953. 943 is our entry target. No, but it faded too much. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. 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 Not the trade. Okay, let's put some music just to make things a bit more fun. I like this. Okay, I have to pay my subscription for YouTube so they stop bombarding me with ads. Idea is down. We still have half an hour to go. Or 32 1 minute candles to watch. We are 32 minutes weekend, and regardless of what happens here, I kind of like this consolidation there. I just need a break. Let's see if it's gonna happen. 6 years old and I just can't keep from growing. But he has to go over this and this. Actually, it's not the best of the setup, to be honest, because I like when it's closer, when this consolidation is built closer to the top. It's not so far from it, too, so I don't think it's a bad thing in this case. I see. That's how it is. Oh yeah, it's breaking down. But no, it just added a layer to the top of it. You didn't break that. You didn't break. I wouldn't get into this trade here long, just because this is not the edge of the range. Uh, but if we have similar to what I mentioned here, if we build a consolidation here, we have a big break to the downside, might be a very good opportunity to just long it. Um, so let's see what's going to happen. It's just, yeah, the price action today is like, wow, for my strategy at least, it's not working. It's not doing the things that I expected to do in these situations. Let's see. You have what? 26 minutes to go. Yeah, the way it is now, I don't like. It came all the way without sleeping. Yeah, it can work, but yesterday we had a similar formation and the price just kept soaring. So I don't see like any good setups forming there. Um, I'm hoping actually we can have a bullish setup. So for now, nothing. Yeah, let's see. Uh, it will. Yeah, now actually, the formation we are seeing now, kind of formation I like. Why? Because it's consolidating. It's in the top of the range. It's usually like that that we take the trades, the winner trades. So let's pay a lot of attention to what is happening now. We have 20 minutes to go. So it's the final stretch of the day. So let's not try not to get burned. Um, we are at least one trade in break even because we made the first. We are playing with, if I'm not wrong, we are playing with 8 or 9, 10 points in profit now, which is not a lot, but it's for the game. It's interesting. Let's see. It's one thing that is impossible is to know what the price is gonna do, but we can try to guess what it could do, and if it does that, we enter. That's the best approach that I've come about. You see, yeah, it's not working exactly like we expected, no, but it can still become so another layer of choppiness. You see, it's now another layer of choppiness. Yeah, yeah. We just have to wait for the break from this 952. If it breaks beautifully from there, we can enter long. But it's looking like the same game these bots played yesterday. It's so interesting. Yeah. These things it sees that they repeat themselves one day, another day, and then they change the game. That's why I don't really bother to go and enter in every exception of the strategy. I'm kind of following a very tight playbook that I'm not gonna change just because the market's not behaving the way I am expecting it to do. Uh, at some point, it will have to take these opportunities. Um, okay, you see, it just added a new layer of choppiness, which is not bad. And we can see that this range is much tighter than the previous ones or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's more tight. Yeah, the other ones were like 50 or much more. This one we are dealing with 25 if we like don't count with these 2 weeks here, because if we add these ones Then we have 39, which is not far from what we had before, but I'm focusing more on the upside here. So let's see if it's gonna break. If it's gonna be now, let's see if it's gonna be now. You have 43 seconds for that to happen. Our top here is okay. It's breaking, and yeah, 17. But it's retracing. It's not the kind of break that we like. No. Yeah, it's so interesting that it's the same playbook of yesterday. Jesus. And when this happened yesterday, it went a bit further up and then it came down, all the way down. Let's see. We still have 8 seconds. If it is closer to 5-9, no, 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 no. Not a clear break. You see, not a clear break. We cannot get in. We just cannot get in. That's the reality here, guys. We cannot get in here. But in the end, it just added a layer of sharpness, which is not bad by any means. It's not bad. And now it seems it wants to break. It's still 37, maybe another layer, which, as I said, is not a bad thing when you keep adding on these layers of sharpness. I won't say that I like a lot when, especially when it adds the layers of sharpness uh, from the areas we want to enter. But even then, it's not the depth of the setup. Not it's not the depth. But yeah, now maybe it's not as good now. Let's see. It's going. It had. Oh, it's showing some strength. It showed some strength in the previous candle. Let's see now. Wow, wow, this is a good break. Let's see. This is a good break now. 31 seconds to go. It has to retake this. Yeah. Yeah, it has to close above the 973, 975 now. Yeah. Okay, I will consider this trade if you see it's retracing back. Yeah. No. No, it's not for us this one. Not for us. Not for us, unfortunately. But let's see. Here, we can also have some surprises here. And now we are building up this, okay? Which is not a bad thing at all. Actually, it's not a bad thing at all. You're just missing that piece of the puzzle, which is uh, the break. But the consolidation is there, and this consolidation is even better than the other ones because we have only what? Yeah, 24 points here, counting all the choppiness. So it's a good thing. It's not bad. In the playbook, it's not bad. It's better now than before. But we have to see the break. We're still missing the piece. The central piece of the strategy is the break, and it's not happening yet. So we have 13 minutes to go. This candle doesn't look it's going to go very far unless we have a very huge turn of the thing in 15 seconds. It's possible, but it's not. Uh, let's see, it's not feasible at this point. It's gonna change it. Okay, the consolidation is great. That's the consolidation I like. It's better than the other one, to be honest. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's going in the contrary. You won't tell you something. Usually in the past, I like it to play these setups. So it's contrary to what I'm playing out to what I'm playing now, which is I wait for the break to enter short. Usually I like it to see the break to the downside to then into the short from here. But I don't like these plays anymore. I don't like I don't like these plays anymore. And in this case, it didn't even consolidate like that. Let's see. It could have added a new layer of choppiness only, and we can still see the break. But okay, it doesn't look like it's gonna play out the way we are expecting. And that's the time when we have to know when to get out of the market. And we are not living in loss in any way. We are living with a small profit, which is much better than a loss. And it makes our week almost break even, which is fantastic given that at some point we were uh, very badly in the red. At some point, so you guys know, I was 40 points in the red for the week. 40, 40, 40. I'm saying 40 points. Now I am uh very yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm 5 points, not even five. It's like 4.5. It's nothing. It's nothing. So I'm I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain, fellas. And that was it. I'm still thinking about something here, but mm, I don't think it's feasible at this point because I only enter from the middle range. I only make middle range trades if we see some sort of consolidation and break. And I we don't even have enough time for that, to be honest. But you see that like every play I called, it worked it out. I just didn't get in all of them. But I called. I see from the start. I started trading this, and I entered long here, but I had to leave because yeah, I entered from here. I had to leave because in the end there was like a bug, and they didn't like to keep in the trade because it was looked like a bug. Then I tried what? I tried to short this. Yeah, and it didn't work as well. But after that, I shorted this and we came all the way down 25 points, I think, around here. We made this 25 points. And then we did what? We tried to enter from here, but the market didn't give us a chance to enter, which was kind of something very booming. because look at the movement. Wow, these would have been the trade, and I would have entered from around here, and I would have either I would have closed it here, or I would have trailed here, trailed here, trailed here, and trailed here, and would go for 122 points in what, in 6 minutes. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. Then we didn't want to get here, but we called this, but didn't want to enter here because it didn't consolidate, but we called this one as well. We also called this one here that I didn't get into, but I wanted to have as the Phoebe from this movement here. I wanted to enter here, but I didn't. Then there was this one that I also called, but I didn't want to enter because the volume was not very good, and I didn't enter, but I called it. Um, then I will be very honest. I was a bit. I might have been a bit precipitated here. I shouldn't have taken this one, and here I took this one, but I shouldn't have taken two. But boom, it worked out. And then I called this one, but it came. It didn't follow the structure I was expecting it to, which was the break from this small consolidation here. Then I called this one here, but it also didn't have the structure I was expecting it to. And now, to be fairly honest, we still have 5 minutes to go, and we have this structure here, which is kind of good. If you discount all the choppiness, we have a very tight range here, you see? It's not a bad one. And it's not the kind of trade that I like to take, I'll be very honest. But since we have one bullet in the chamber, if it works out, I might think about getting in. Let's see. It's still not working out. Still not working out. Because first, because it didn't break this point, it has to break here. And look, it came in and now it's coming back. Am I saying that this is not going to work as a trade? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting involved into this. Not for me. It might be for someone else, but not for me. And really, if it reaches the potential, which I would say is this, okay, I'm not going anymore. I'm not going anymore. No. Mm-mm. It's fine, guys. It was a great day. We couldn't take the trades, but we took some and we made some profit. And the most important, we finished the week very strongly, breaking even. It was the start of the week was not very good for us, and now we are back on track for next week. And I will trade the whole week next week, but I just gonna come live on Friday. So if you kind of want to see it, you are very welcome to come, and you can, even if I don't take the trades, you can take yourself and maybe make some profits there. You see, it's working out. So that's it. That was my view of the market on this Friday, the 27th of February. It was a very good month. I would say the best month I had in my whole trading uh, trajectory. And I hope next week will be even better. And I'm gonna show you the results. Okay, I have nothing to hide. I'm just scaling up my account. At the moment, it has $719. Not a lot. You might think it's not a lot, but I'm kind of scaling up the account, and I hope that at the end of the next week I'm finishing up around 2000, something like that. Um, this month was a very good month. I started the month with $384. You see, $384, and I made from $384. I made 335, which is not 100%, but it is quite significant. And yet more, um, I started playing one contract. Now I'm playing two. Next week, I'm going to be playing three contracts. And every time I get more size, I'm going to increase my position size. And that's it. It's the best strategy I've come by over what, 5 years. It's easily applicable. It relies mostly on volatility. I don't have to guess if it's going up, it's going down, whatever it is. Tight stop losses, so there's no risk of blowing the account. Very good risk management with like I can only lose like 48 points in a set session or four trades in a row. Let's say that I managed to lose three trades, but very, very small losses, like maybe 20 points in losses in three trades. So it's far from the 48, right? But for the moral, I found out that if you lose more than four trades, it becomes like psychologically, when you are scalping, right? It becomes a matter of revenge, okay? And it doesn't work like that. Revenge trading is the worst thing you can do. And I say that from the place of someone who revenge trading a lot, who revenge traded a lot. Let's change the verb here. I revenge traded. I don't revenge trade anymore because I found the sweet spot where I'm still not revenge trading. It's four. If I go over four, I'm just not playing it anymore. Not playing it anymore. And you also have the time limit, which makes it much better to takes the stress away. I'm not saying that a day like this where we don't make any profits or any significant profits is not a frustrating day. It is sometimes. Okay, but you find some other stuff to do, and you look at the bigger picture. You know that the market's gonna open again on Monday, and that you have one entire week next week to make it happen, and that uh, turn things more um, agreeable. And another thing that is working a lot for me is that when I feel like revenge trading, I just open my demo account and I go and destroy it.
It's so good to just try the demo account. You can do it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Yeah, it really doesn't hurt when you blow your demo account. So if you need tips for not uh, blowing your account, count on me too. Okay. So I hope to see you again next Friday, and I hope to have very good news um, regarding the week, and I'm pretty confident that we will have. Okay, and just to finish up in very good style. Woo!
All right, guys. I see you next week. Bye.